What actor or actress got cast in a role that they normally wouldn't play and absolutely crushed it?
Not sure if it counts, because it's a little different, but Hugo Weaving. Not many actors can go from an A+ drag queen in The Adventure of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, to one of the most recognizable villains of all time in The Matrix, till Lord Elrond. Expectations are lost on him, because he's so versatile. Don't forget V for Vendetta. And the one consistently villainous character in every timeline in Cloud Atlas. Meatloaf in Fight Club. Now you can watch Rocky Horror. John Lithgow's a serial killer in Dexter. I never realized he could be so damn scary. Third Rock and Shrek never prepared me for that. Edit. Apparently I need to check out Ricochet and Buckaroo Banzai. Thank you for that. Okay, so apparently I'm backwards, but I grew up with him as a goofy comedian, not a serious drama man. Still, the dude can swap roles so flawlessly that it's scary. I remembered him as the bad guy in Cliffhanger, so I knew he could play someone scary, but that was a whole other level. Charlize Theron in Monster. Charlize Theron is such a chameleon and I love her for it. Her Arrested Development cameo is freaking hysterical, and I'm hoping for a sequel to Atomic Blonde. Jimmy Simpson in Westworld. I have to admit it took me a long time to not see him as a McPoyle. He's excellent in the Black Mirror episode Callister as well. Patrick Stewart voicing Avery Bullock in American Dad. He had been playing serious roles for years and then went with the drug addict deputy director of the CIA. Brought me lots of joy. Rick is Spanish. We are doing cocaine and shooting guns. Join us. Patrick Stewart just seems like he's having a lot of fun being Patrick Stewart. But seeing him playing a foul-mouthed Professor X in Logan was immensely entertaining. Bruce Willis as John McClane was mostly a comedic actor before Die Hard. It was also surreal seeing the late Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. At first I couldn't believe it was him. Having first seen Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham, Snape wasn't that far a stretch for me. Seeing him in Love actually was weird, though. This one is especially crazy to think about because all the action roles at the time were for Sylvester or Arnold pretty much. Bruce Willis turned into an action legend of the same caliber. Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber. Everyone was advising him not to do the role because it would ruin his career. He absolutely nailed it. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes. I'd be thrilled more than anything if Jeff Daniels saw this and it made his day. Jeff Daniels never moved to Hollywood either, but rather stayed in Chelsea, Michigan, which his agent advised against. He also founded the Purple Rose Theatre Co. there. Brad Pitt as that dumbass in Burn After Reading. Also Chris Tucker in Silver Linings Playbook as that kind of clueless guy. Pitt played that so well. I sat there waiting for something resembling character development or something. Nope, just a typecast idiot and he nailed it. It's been said before that Brad Pitt is a character actor stuck in a leading man's body. It seems like he really jumps into the crazy roles and has never been too cool to look stupid on screen. 12 Monkeys, Snatch, Burn After Reading. He seems to like the roles where he doesn't just play the suave handsome dude with a standard American accent. Inglourious Bastards, War Machine. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction. I Bought You Flowers. And little did he know. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. Who would have thought? He killed it. Watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for another really great role of his. Val Kilmer not even earning a nomination for that role has been considered one of the greatest and unfair Oscar snubs in movie history. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So who do you have lined up to play the short scrappy Canadian? A tall Australian dancer? Don't worry, he's done some acting in musicals. What's weird to me is I only knew him as Wolverine for the longest time, then saw him in The Greatest Showman and was totally stunned. Like, damn, Wolverine can do musicals. That's what he wanted to do all along. Lol. I was so happy for him to play in that movie, but personally didn't like it. The best part, though, is the fact that Hugh Jackman didn't even know Wolverines existed as real animals. He thought they were made up and did a whole bunch of research on wolves to prepare for his role as Wolverine. It wasn't until he was on set with the director and he was trying to play real wolf-like that the director was like, WTF are you doing? Robin Williams when he was playing a serious role. Almost any of them. Insomnia with Al Pacino. He was so creepy in that one. Steve Carell is absolutely terrifying as John DuPont in Foxcatcher. Many people have seen him in The Office, Anchorman, or The 40-Year-Old Virgin. This role is the opposite of those. I also really liked him in Little Miss Sunshine. He absolutely devastates me in Little Miss Sunshine, one of my favorite films. Prior to watching it, I tended to avoid anything with him because he came off as annoying. Now I really enjoy him. James McAvoy in Split had to play a child as an adult and a woman as a man, and he crushed it. Andre Braugher Brooklyn 99. It seems harder to make the leap from drama to comedy. That being said, Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. Ha. This basic biatch. Leonardo DiCaprio as the racist slave owner in Django Unchained. I was used to seeing him always playing the good guy because he was Hollywood's golden boy, but he played a fantastic villain, thanks in part due to Tarantino's excellent writing, but some of DiCaprio's actions in the scenes were improvised, made me look at him as an actor in a new light, and with more respect. Michael Keaton as Batman. For those too young to remember, before Batman he was mainly known for wacky comedies like Mr. Mom. Unpopular opinion, but Jack Black as Carl Denham in Peter Jackson's King Kong. Guy absolutely nailed the selfishness and desperation that the character called for. Jack Black in Bernie was another role where he played against type and nailed it. Matthew McConaughey was also great in that movie. I believe that movie was pre or early McConaughey, so at the time it felt wildly against type for him too, although maybe less so now in retrospect. Unpopular opinion, but Jack Black as Carl Denham in Peter Jackson's King Kong. Guy absolutely nailed the selfishness and desperation that the character called for. Jack Black in Bernie was another role where he played against type and nailed it. Matthew McConaughey was also great in that movie. I believe that movie was pre or early McConaughey, so at the time it felt wildly against type for him too, although maybe less so now in retrospect. Alec Guinness in Star Wars. Totally not the kind of film he would normally go for, and he pretty much saw it as cheap popcorn where art is concerned, but these days anyone would agree he gave a brilliant performance as one of the best old wizards in any fantasy film. Got used to seeing John Hamm in Mad Men, then saw him in Bridesmaids. Wow. Talk about a 180 degrees in change of personality. What about Reverend Richard Wayne Gary Wayne? Or his cameo in Parks and Rec? If anyone wants to hang, I'll be at Subway. Subway. Jim Carrey in The Truman Show or Eternal Sunshine. Road Jr. as Iron Man. If you would have told me Cocaine Blow Jr. would be the biggest action star in the world as Iron Man, a D-level Marvel comic by the 2000s, sorry but true, I would have laughed my ass off. Iron Man was a controversial comic book character at the time, not only a weapon monger in a time when war was highly unpopular, but also just after the comics did the Civil War arch. Wesley Snipes / Patrick Swayze into Wong Fu. Daniel Radcliffe in Swiss Army Man. Normally he plays an alive person. In this one he plays a dead person. He also crushed a lot of things. I knew that movie was going to be weird going in, but I didn't realize just how weird. I enjoyed watching it, but I still haven't decided if I liked it or not. If you didn't grow up watching The Wire, it would be baffling to see Idris Elba playing Stringer Bell, an American Baltimore gangster. The English accent is jarring every time I see him in another movie or TV series. He is such a great actor and crushes the role. As a British guy, it is very refreshing to see something like Luther, where the accents are a British person's idea of what a stereotypical British accent is. Lorien House made the role his own. An English comedian well known for shows such as Laurie and Fry and The Awesome Blackadder. The only problem is he's having a super hard time shaking House. Watching Chance or Veep, people still see House. Edit. It seems I need to start watching Catch-22. Didn't even know he was in it. They say that the first thing the creators of House said after Laura's audition was, finally, an American actor. Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Tom Hanks was the guy from Big. He was light entertainment through and through, and then all of a sudden he's winning back-to-back Oscars for playing an AIDS sufferer and a man with a learning difficulty. Life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. Unless you're Tom Hanks, then you get Oscars. And what a time too for that role. Just as everyone was really discovering how bad the AIDS crisis was, Ryan White had just happened really, and here's funny Tom Hanks suddenly being a gay man living with AIDS. A serious WTF change, but damn if it wasn't a brilliant one. Leslie Nielsen was known for being a serious actor before Airplane. Robert Stack, Lloyd Bridges and Peter Graves were primarily serious actors too. Great casting to have authoritative actors in those roles. They would have been perfect in those roles in a serious thriller with the same plot, which makes the comic spoof that much more effective. Okay guys, don't forget to hit that sub button, also ring that shiny bell, like and share too, and check out other videos in our channel.